Hello students, greetings of the day. I hope everyone is doing good, Nana, and have given their exams very well. So in this session, I have come forward to discuss or to analyze CA Inter Paper 8 Section B. That is, we will be analyzing economics or finance subject. So we know that in paper 8 we have two subjects. So for 40 marks we have economics of finance, and for 60 marks we have financial management. So I will be discussing or I will be analyzing economics of finance paper Nana, that is section B. So let us see the question paper. So before discussing the question paper, and we are very glad to inform you that out of 52 marks given in the question paper, 41 marks is covered in our guest questions, and the entire 52 marks is covered in our masterminds material. So we are very happy with our material as well as guest marks, guest question paper. Okay. So because if you follow the guest question paper, you can easily answer for 41 marks. And if you are thorough with our masterminds material, then you can easily answer all the 52 marks. So very much happy with the question paper that was given today. Okay, right. So let us analyze the question paper right now. So section B. Okay, section B. So we know that altogether we have 5 questions now. So first question is compulsory and we have to answer 3 from the remaining 4 questions. Right. So let us see each question one by one. So the first question part A, explain the measurement of net domestic product at market price. Net domestic product at market. That means he's asking about NDP at market price. So it's a straight question given for 2 marks. So if you look at the chart that we have prepared, Nana, so this question is covered in our guest questions as well as in our masterminds material. Both in guest questions as well as in masterminds material, Nana. So if you see, right. So this is guest paper. So you can clearly see, Nana, here differentiate the following, and we have asked NDP also, that is net domestic product at market price. That is, it is covered in our guest questions. As well as when it comes to our masterminds material, Nana, page number 4.4, question number 2, 100%. So page number 4.4, right? So if you're thorough with our masterminds material, then you can easily answer that question, Nana. As well as if you're not thorough with our masterminds material and you have gone through our guest questions, Nana, then also you can easily answer that question. Okay, right. Next, question 7B. So it's a problem question. Problem is given here, and this question is from, okay, problem question, and this question is from money markets, Nana. So in the context of India, measure money supply M3, that we need to calculate M3. So if you are aware of M1, M2, M3 formulas, then you can easily answer this question. Okay, and this is given for 3 marks. So when it comes to guest paper, it is given in our guest paper, Nana, and when it comes to our material, it is also given in our material now. 90% coverage means only the numerical values will change, remaining everything will be the same. Okay, right. So when it comes to guest paper, page number 6, question number 3. Let us see, Nana. So you can clearly see here. Okay, question number 3. So if you are thorough with this question, and you can answer the question given in your examination. This is when it comes to question guest paper, Nana. And in our masterminds material, page number 6.26, question number 2. Yes, Nana, page number 6.26 and question number is 2. Okay, right. So this question is also covered in our material as well as in guest questions, Nana, right. Next, question number 7C. Justify the role of public debt as an instrument of fiscal policy. Let us see whether this question is covered in our guest questions or not. Okay, right. So if you look at this chart, Nana, this question is not covered in our guest questions, but it is covered in our masterminds material, and that 200%. That means it is direct question from our masterminds material. Okay, so let us see the 2.4, question number 5. Role of public debt as an instrument of fiscal policy. That is the question that has been asked, Nana. So there is no need to write the entire question. It is enough to write side point 3, that is side heading 3, Nana. Okay, so justify the role of public debt as an instrument of fiscal policy. So that is what we have covered in our masterminds material. Okay, this is not covered in our guest questions, Nana, right? So 7C is there. Next, 7D. Compare and contrast between devaluation and depreciation in the context of exchange rates. So this chapter is from exchange rates chapter. That is, what is the difference between devaluation and depreciation in the context of exchange rates. Let us see whether it is covered or not. So when it comes to guest paper, Nana, guest questions, Nana, it is covered in our guest questions. That is 100% is covered, Nana. That means exact question, whatever the question that is given in our guest questions, the same has been given in examination, final examination also. And the same thing is covered in our masterminds material also. So when it comes to guest question, page number 9, question number 7. Question number 7. Differentiation or distinguishing between currency devaluation, currency depreciation, Nana. And when it comes to our masterminds material, 11.1121. It's a direct question. Okay, it's a direct question, right? So we have covered all the 3 questions till now. Next, this question number 7 is entirely covered in our masterminds material. Only one question we don't have, that is 7C. We do not have any guest questions, but all the 4 questions in question number 7, that is 7A, 7B, 7C, and 7D are covered in our masterminds material. Next question number 8A. So it is for 5 marks, Nana. So calculate the national income using income expenditure and expenditure method, Nana. Income method and expenditure method. Okay, calculate the national income using income and expenditure method. So data is given, and with the help of this data, we have to calculate income as well as expenditure method. So you can see the data, Nana. So if you are thorough with income method formula as well as expenditure method formula, then you can easily solve this problem. Okay, right now. So and data is given, that is government purchase of goods and services, indirect tax subsidies, gross business capital, fixed capital, inventory investment, consumption of fixed capital, personal consumption expenditure, export of goods and services, net NFI, net factor income from abroad, imports of goods and services, mixed income, rent, interest and profit, and compensation of employees. Okay, so with the help of last 3 data and some other data from above, Nana, we can calculate national income. National income is nothing but we have to calculate NNP at factor cost. NNP at factor cost, Nana. So if you are thorough with income method formula as well as expenditure method formula, then simply we have to write down the formula and solve this problem. So by doing so, we can easily score. How many marks, Nana? 5 marks. Okay, right. So for income method, they are giving us 3 marks, and for the expenditure method, they are giving us 2 marks. Like that, we can distribute it, Nana. So let us see whether this question is covered in our guest questions as well as in masterminds material or not. So 8A. So it is covered in our guest questions, Nana. Why it is only 80%? Because generally the values will differ. Method will be the same, but the numerical values may differ, Nana. That's why we have given it as 80%. It is covered in our masterminds material also. And there also the numerical value differ, Nana. That's why it is 80%. Okay. So page number 3, question number 2. So this is page number 3 and this is question number 2. So here also data is given, Nana. Basing on this data, we have to calculate income method as well as expenditure method. So if you are thorough with this problem, Nana, then you can solve the problem given in examination. Next, in the same way, in our material, page number 4.24, question number 5. 4.24, question number 5. Find GDP and GNP from the following data using income method. Show that the same is obtained in expenditure method. So if you are able to calculate GNP, then you can easily calculate NNP at factor cost, right? So with the help of this, so simply if you are aware of the formula of both income method as well as expenditure method, then we can easily solve that question number 8A, Nana. So this is very easy question. Next, Nana. Question number 8B. Describe various types of externality which cause market failure. Describe various types of externality which cause market failure. So this question is from market failures and government intervention case of market failures. Now let us see whether it is covered in our guest questions and masterminds material or not. 8B. So it is covered in our guest questions, Nana. Page number 2, question number 2. Support the sentence externalities can be positive or negative with suitable examples. The question is only different, Nana, but the answer will be the same. Okay. So what he has asked, mention various types of externality which cause market failure, Nana. Because of positive externality and negative externality, there will be market failures. Okay. Right. Next, Nana. But let us see. So it is covered in our guest questions, Nana. Let us see whether it is covered in our masterminds material or not. So it is covered, Nana. Page number 3.7, question number 10. Page number 3.7. So this is the question, Nana. 3.5. It is actually 3.5, Nana. Okay. So question number 10. Okay. So as you can see, different types of externalities have been explained clearly with the help of a graph. Is it necessary to write the entire data, Nana? Is it necessary to write the entire data? So what he has asked, Nana, describe various types of externalities which cause market failure. Okay, describe various types of externality which cause market failure, Nana. So you have to write the entire question except examples, Nana. Then it will be better for us. Okay, so generally what we advise is that if you have enough time, then mention examples also. If not, you can skip the examples and write the balance of the question, and that is definition and graph. Okay. Right, Nana. So it's a bit lengthy question, but it's an easy question. It's a bit lengthy question, but it's a easy question, Nana. So as it is given for only for 3 marks, Nana, it is given for 3 marks. What we advise is generally is that you can write the definition and graph, Nana, and you can skip the examples part. Okay, next. 8B2, Nana. Mention any 4 sectors in which foreign direct investment is prohibited, Nana. So, so let us see whether this question is covered in our guest questions or masterminds material or not. So what are the sectors where FDI is prohibited? So at least we have to write 4 sectors, Nana. So let us see. Okay, right. So it is covered in our masterminds material, Nana. It is from International Capital Movements. So when it comes to guest question, page number 9, question number 4. Page number 9, question. So you can see now, list out the sectors allowed and prohibited in India. So he has only asked for 4 sectors, Nana, not all the sectors. Okay. So out of this question, we will write any 4 sectors. So question number 4, Nana. And when it comes to masterminds material, 10.11, question number 11. 10.11, question number 11. Outline the areas in which foreign investment is prohibited. So out of the given 9 points, we will write any 4 because he has only asked for 4 sectors, Nana. Okay, right. So this question is also covered in our masterminds material, Nana. So question number 7 and question number 8, all the questions are covered. Both these questions are covered in our masterminds material. Next, Nana, question number 9. Justify the following statement in the light of holding cash balance. Okay. So here so for investment in interest bearing assets. So when we want to invest in interest bearing assets, what will the holding cash balance? In the prevailing scenario, usually all transactions are made through online and e-banking. So in case of online and e-banking purchases, Nana, what will be the holding cash balance? Next, what will be money is a unique store value. So when money has a unique store value, Nana, then what will be the holding cash balance? Okay, so that we have to explain. So let us see, Nana, whether it is there in our material or not, covered in our material or not, or guest questions or not. Let us see. So if we see this question, Nana, that is 9A1, this question has 3 parts, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so each part is covered in a different area. Okay, so each part is covered in a different area. So if we see clearly, Nana, question number 1, that is 9A1, first question is covered in page number 6, question number 2B. Second question is covered in page number 7, question number 8D. And third question is covered in page number 5 and question number 2, Nana, when it comes to guest questions. So let us see. Right. So what is it, Nana? First question, page number 6, 2B. Page number 6, 2B. Will you choose to hold only interest bearing assets or what? Okay. Next, Nana. In the prevailing scenario, usually all transactions are made through online or e-banking. So this part is covered in question number 2 is covered in page number 7, 8D. Page number 7. And it is 8D. E-banking becomes very common. Nearly all people use them. So what type of effect it will have on holding cash balance? Okay. Next, Nana. Again, the third part, that is money is a unique store of value. Where it is covered, Nana, page number 5, question number 2. Page number 5, question number 2, Nana. Explain the functions of money. So what he has done is that in the entire chapter of money markets, he has given this question covering different areas. That's why this question is distributed in different pages, Nana. So this is when it comes to guest question paper. Guest paper, Nana. What about masterminds material? In the masterminds material also, it is covered in different areas. For example, first part is covered in page number 6.23, question number 10. Second part is covered in page number 6.23, question number 19D. Right, Nana. So 6.23, question number 10. Next, again 6.23, 19D. Okay. And the third question is covered in page number 6.3, question number 27. Okay. 6.3. That is this part now. So similar question is there for us, that is money has 4 functions: medium, as measure, standard, and store, Nana. So when it comes to this question, that is third question, money is a unique store of value. That means we will write this store of value point. Okay. So this question is covered from different areas, and that's why we have to be very careful while answering this question. Okay. Right, now. Next, 9A2. Briefly describe any 2 advantages of fixed exchange rate regime in the context of open economy. When it comes to open economy, what type of advantages we have when we follow fixed exchange rate regime, Nana? So let us see whether this question is covered or not, Nana. So this question is covered in our guest questions. That is page number 9, question number 2. Page number 9, question number 2. Explain the difference between fixed and floating rate and their advantages. Okay. And is it covered in our masterminds material, Nana? Yes, Nana. Page number 11.4, question number 7. Page number 11.4, question number 7. What are the main advantages of fixed exchange rate regime in an open account? So it's a direct question from our material, Nana. So if you are thorough with the question, we can easily score marks in the examination. Okay. So till by this time, you have come to an idea that how good our masterminds material is. If you are thorough with our masterminds material, Nana, then we can answer all the questions given in our examination, at least in this examination, Nana. Okay. Right. Next, define common access resource, why they are overused, and explain. Let us see whether this is covered in our guest questions and masterminds materials or not. Okay. So 9B1. So it is covered in our guest questions, Nana. Page number 2, question number 10. Define common resource, why they are overused, define tragedy of commons. So direct question which is given in our guest questions, Nana, is there in final examination paper. Let us see the same is covered in our masterminds material or not, Nana. Right. Page number 3.16, question number 22. 3.16, question number 22. Right now. So define common access resource. What is the effect of absence of price mechanism on environmental sustainability? Sir, there is a difference between the question given in our question paper and in masterminds material. If you are thorough with our masterminds material, you will observe that for every question we have given some similar questions, and there we will explain how the same question can be asked in the examinations now. How the same question can be asked in the examination. So if you look at question number 2, we have given the same question. Define common resource. Why are they overused? And what we have given as answer, that is we asked you to write the entire answer. So the main question may be different, but for the convenience of students, what we have done, Nana, we have given some similar questions below each respective question, so that student can refer these similar questions in case, even if in examination, if a question is asked in different way, Nana, he can easily answer those questions. So it's a direct question again from our masterminds material. Next, Nana. 9B2. Explain in brief any 4 effects in tariff on importing and exporting countries. So let us see whether this question is covered in our guest questions as well as in masterminds material or not. Let us see, Nana. So this question is not covered in guest questions. Okay, so 9B2, that is the impact of tariffs on importing and exporting countries, Nana, is not covered, or effect of tariff on importing and exporting countries is not given in our guest questions, Nana. But it is covered in our masterminds material, Nana. This is a direct question from our masterminds material. So page number 9.5, question number 5. Define tariff. What are the effects of import tariffs? That means how it will affect both importing countries as well as exporting countries, Nana. So if you look at the similar questions below that question, Nana, we have given define tariffs and what are its effects on the importing and exporting countries. Okay, right now. So this question is also covered in our masterminds material. Right, next 10A1. Fisher's equation of exchange rate, that is MV equal to PT is given and some values are given. He has asked us to calculate total money supply. Effect on M when velocity increases to 75. Velocity V when the volume of transactions increases to 325 billion. So this is question number 10A subsection 1 given for 3 marks now. Given for 3 marks. So let us see whether this question is covered in our guest questions as well as in masterminds material. Right. So when it comes to guest questions, Nana, this question is not covered in our guest questions. Okay, this question, whatever the question that is given in our public examination, Nana, is not covered in our guest questions. But it is covered in our masterminds material. That is page number 6.5, question number 5. So if you look at the paper, Nana, if you look at our material, so this question, that is question number 10A subsection 1, this MV equal to PT and the problematic mark, Nana, that is based on the question, classic approach of quantity theory of money, Nana. So basing on this question, we can easily answer or we can easily solve that problem given in examination. Okay, so if you are thorough with this question, then you can easily answer that question, Nana. Okay, right. So that is not covered in the guest questions, but it is covered in our masterminds material. Next question, Nana. Briefly explain the advantages of 2 key concepts of new trade theories to countries when importing goods to compete with products from the home country. So whether this question is covered in our guest questions and masterminds material, let us see. Okay, so question number 10A subsection 2 is covered in our guest questions. Question number 5, page number 7, Nana. So page number 7, Page number 7, question number 5. Explain new trade theory. And the same question is covered in our masterminds material also. 8.1 page number, question number 10. 8.11 question number 10. So you can clearly see how, according to new trade theory, two key concepts give advantage to countries that import goods to compete with product from the home country. Nana. So the question is given, though there is no need to write the entire question, Nana, it is sufficient to write this part of the question. Okay, and if you look at the similar questions, Nana, the same question which is given in our material, that is given in our question paper is given in our material also. Okay, what are the two key concepts of new trade theory that gives advantage to countries that import goods to compete with products from home country? So same question is there in our question paper also. Okay, so this is how good our masterminds material is now. Next round. Question number 10, B subsection 1. Mention any three key objectives of World Trade Organization. Let us see whether it is covered in our material or not, Nana. Yes, it is covered both in our guest questions as well as in our material. Okay, so page number 8. Page number 8, question number 8. What are the objectives and functions of WTO? In the examination, he has asked only the objectives, Nana. So to that extent only, we will write the answer. And when it comes to masterminds material, Nana, page number 9.13, question number 19. Page number 9.13, question number 19. What are the three objectives of World Trade Organization now? So it is sufficient to write any three objectives of World Trade Organizations from this question. Okay, right, Nana. Next, describe the difference between LAF and MSF. Whether this, let us see whether this question is covered in our guest questions as well as in masterminds material or not. Right, Nana. Next, so page number 7 and 6B question from our guest questions. Page number 7, 6B. And when it comes to our masterminds material, 7.14, question number 35. So page number 7.14, question number 35. So at the end of our chapter, at the end of each chapter, Nana, we have framed certain questions as differences, Nana. So this question is directly taken from that part. Okay, so differences between LAF and MSF. So if you write the same in examination, then it will be very good for us now. Next, 11A1. The equation of consumption function of economy is as follows. So consumption function is given, Nana, and basing on some data, we have to calculate consumption. We have to find out the values, Nana. Okay, so consumption function is given and some data is also given, Nana. So basing on that, what we have to calculate, Nana, we have to calculate some data. So let us see whether this question or problem is covered in our masterminds material as well as in guest questions or not. So 11A, Nana. So this is not covered in our guest questions, but it is covered in our masterminds material. Page number 5.21, question number 2. Page number 5.21 and question number 24, Nana. Page number 5.23 and you can see question number 2. So page number 5.23 and question number 2. Same thing is given in our question paper also, not that, but the values have changed. Here the consumption function is C equal to 500 plus 0.80y. And here the consumption function is C equal to 450 into 0.705. Okay, and the same things have been asked in our material also. So when what will be the consumption when disposable income changes? What will be the savings when disposable income changes? And what amount is induced when disposable income is changes? Nana. Same thing is asked here. Just the values differ, Nana. The numerical values differ. Okay, so if you have done the same in our masterminds material, then you can easily do the problem in question paper. Okay, right. So this is 11A1. Next, 11A2. Distinguish between horizontal, vertical, conglomerate type of foreign investment. Let us see whether this question is covered in our guest questions as well as masterminds material. So if you look at the schedule, Nana, that we have prepared, this question is covered in our guest questions. Page number 9, question number 1. Page number 9, question number 1, Nana. It's not 2, it's 1. Okay, right. So we are talking about categories of FDI. And the same thing is covered in our masterminds material also. Question number 2.8, categories of FDI. So he has asked about horizontal foreign direct investment, vertical foreign investment, and what is it, Nana? Conglomerate. Is it conglomerate, Nana? Yes, conglomerate type of foreign investment. Yes. So if you write these 3 points, it is sufficient, Nana. Okay, right. Next. Explain the concept of voluntary export restraints, under which circumstances exporters commit to voluntary export restraints. Okay, right. So let us see whether this question is covered in guest questions as well as in a masterminds material or not. So if you look at the schedule, this question is covered in our both in our masterminds material as well as in guest questions. So question number 8, sorry, page number 8, question number 5. What is meant by voluntary export restraints as part of export related measures, Nana? And the same thing is covered in our masterminds material also, 9.11, question number 11. So question number 11, there is no need to write the entire question, Nana. It is sufficient to write point number 4. Okay, so under this question number 11, Nana, under this question number 11, we have given some similar questions. What is meant by voluntary export restraints, or what is meant, so same question, Nana. So this point can be asked in two different ways. So whatever the question it might be, we have to write this point number 4. That is sufficient for us. So if you see, Nana, the similar question 2 is the exact question that is given in our examination. It is exact question that is given in our examination. Nana. Next, question number 11b, subsection 2. Mention any 4 arguments made in favor of foreign direct investment to develop economy like India. So let us see whether this question is covered or not, Nana. Yes, it is covered. Okay, page number 9, question number 3 in guest questions. Page number 9, question number 3 in guest questions. What are the pros and cons of FDI? Next, when it comes to material, Nana, 10.8, question number 8. Okay, so as you can see, this question is asked for 2 marks, Nana. So it is sufficient to write any 4 points. Okay, it is sufficient to write any 4 points. Okay, right, Nana. So mention any 4 arguments. So sufficient to write 4. As he has only asked for 4 points, it is sufficient to write 4 points, Nana. And in the last question, we have internal choice, Nana. So either we can write this question, that is 4 arguments made in favor of foreign direct investment, or explain the concept of real exchange rate. So let us see whether this point is also covered or not in our guest questions as well as in our material. Okay, yes, it is covered, Nana. Page number 9 and 9th question in guest questions. This is the question, Nana. So it's a lengthy question, out of which only a part was asked, Nana. And when it comes to our masterminds material, 11.6, question number 11. So question number 11, out of which we have to write only point number 2. There is no need to write the entire question, Nana. It is sufficient to write point number 2. So if you see clearly, out of the 52 marks that are given in examination, Nana, all the questions are covered in our masterminds material. All the questions are covered in our masterminds material. So if you are thorough with our masterminds material, we can attempt this paper fully and score good marks when it comes to economics for finance. So we are very much happy to say it again and again, Nana, the standard of our masterminds material. Okay, and most of the questions are also covered in guest questions. Okay, so students, if they are not thorough with masterminds material and only gone through this guest questions, Nana, they can easily answer 41 marks out of 52 marks. Out of 52 marks. Okay, so I hope everyone has done well in their examinations. All the best for your future. Thank you.